Who's Barry Badgernath? Who's Barry Badgernath? Who's Barry Badgernath? Who's... Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Xaereth Prevails. Folks, I wanted to talk a little bit about my alt account today, just because it's the end of an era. We're getting a Galactic Legend, finally, and I've had a lot of success on this account. I expect that now that I have a Galactic Legend, I'm going to start losing a little bit more on this account, but I wanted to give you guys kind of a snapshot, and honestly myself a kind of a snapshot as well, despite this inflammatory kind of message up here saying your account should look like this. The war for clicks must go on, right? But, if we're just being real. But I don't really know if it's practical to have your account exactly like this. I think you can do a fair job of it. I think this is kind of a perfect storm account because I have a guild who allows me to continue to stay in it despite... I don't know. I don't add as much value as I probably should for how good this guild is. Like, they want to do the experiment, though, and so I have a lot of characters unlocked earlier, maybe, than is more practical. We'll talk about that. But I've made Kyber Contender, I think, 7 times, and poised to maybe take an 8th, I believe. It may even be more than that, or maybe a little less. I think it's, according to my records, it's 7, though. So, I'm at 303 and 8. 303 wins to 8 losses in GAC. So I'd say that the experiment has succeeded. We're kind of gaming the system a little bit. I want to show you guys what that all looks like. Let me show you first. I'll show you guys the numbers. All right. So here's what I looked like before I put all of my relic levels on everyone to get my Galactic Legend. My new, Jedi Master Luke is the one that I am going for. Not a hypocrite or anything. So, what you do, guys, because I don't have a Galactic Legend, I can't beat that many Galactic Legends. I have the teams to be able to do it, and I'll show you guys what that means in just a minute. But I don't want to fight a Galactic Legend because I'm not ready for it, and so I keep my relic levels low. And the thing is, the secret that a lot of people who watch this channel a lot, but the people who don't, they're asking me this question. Low relic levels are still very good in this game. Like, there are some reasons not to put a ton of relic levels on, and there are some reasons to put a lot of relic levels on. But in the end, like, relic 0 is the most efficient relic level. Now, like territory battles, you're gonna struggle a little more than people with high relic levels. That's true. But in general, and especially in GAC, like the PvP aspect of it, you don't need relic levels for a lot of matches. I don't know how many times I've spun circles around my against the Darth Revan team with relic 7s across the board. Everyone, all 5 of them, 35 relic levels. And my own Darth Revan team is relic 0 across the board, except for HK, who is gear 11, and I still get a lot of banners for it. So, mechanics are better than anything else. Mechanics and good modding, of course. But otherwise, that's it, folks. So you can see you guys probably watched my video a couple days ago, but if you did not, here's what after I upgraded all my characters looks like. And we'll look at my account soon, in just a sec. We will, just to show you guys what I'm looking at. But what I'm working with, rather. But you can see I increased my my GP by almost 100,000. I guess 70,000 isn't necessarily almost 100,000, but yeah. So you can look at the relics below as well. 144 total levels, as opposed to before we were at 93. And before we were at 93, we were way lower than that. I had to increase a lot of my clones so that I could actually start contributing a little bit to my guild, at least trying to get those sweet cam shards, even though I have a 7-star cam on this account. So the other thing I want to draw your attention to, though, folks, is my modding. And granted, they're not like transcendent, amazing mods, even at this GP, but they're strong enough that they get the job done. Like, I have enough. I have almost 60 at plus 20, which is pretty good. And then at plus 25, we have 18. And the thing is, I don't have all the characters farmed or anything at this GP, so a lot of my characters, my average speed is pretty quick. So, all right, let's actually go look at all this stuff, guys. Yeah. Some of it's just for me, frankly. I want a record of what is going on. That's originally why I started with YouTube. In fact, doing this stuff was I just wanted a record for myself. And in this case, that's what we're going to do. So, I mean, I love to show you guys this account. This is one of my favorite projects I've ever done. But it's also nice to just have a record. Oh, here we go. Whoa, whoa, we're in the game now, guys. So dumb. Whoa, we're somewhere different. So here's my cantina. It looks very much like yours. I'm guessing. So okay. First, I'll point out I have 35 shards of Jedi Master Luke. I'm farming him. I have a bunch of tickets. We'll get him by the time 3v3 rolls around. Which ironically, I don't care about him very much in 3v3. A little bit, but not too much. The things that are most interesting to me right now, guys, the characters and teams I have are... Whoa, sorry, guys. Kind of clicked out for just 1 second, but we're back. You guys didn't even notice a single thing except the screen just suddenly changed. So what I was going to do, I wanted to show you guys just kind of the core of what's going on, guys. I don't have every single thing, but I do have almost everything unlocked. First off, you can see the only characters I do not have unlocked are Galactic Legends and Maul, who no one has unlocked so far. Now, granted, lots of these different teams and characters don't have levels, but most of them I farmed everyone as much as I possibly could. So 7 stars are everywhere. Bad Batch aren't quite there. You can see that some of the worst characters I'm slow farming, but I am actually for real farming all of them. Maybe Super Commando got left in the lurch, but who cares about that guy? So the other thing, though, the important part, folks, we'll look at ships in just a minute, but in my opinion, the reason you want to get ready to take the plunge into getting a Galactic Legend is because you're ready to start that race for like beating other Galactic Legends. And thing is, no matter what Galactic Legend you get, you're going to be weak on some point in some area, and one of those area, like shouldn't say just like one of those areas. So you want to have a flexible Galactic Legend. You also need to make sure you have off-meta counters. Now, I know everyone says that the off-meta is dead, and that's actually false. If you watched a couple of my alt videos recently, I've taken out raid teams. I've taken out a Supreme Leader Kylo team. This week, I actually have 2 Supreme Leader Kylos in my pod. It'll be interesting to see how my low relic, because these guys have relics now, but they didn't when I locked in. It'll be interesting to see how my low relic Jedi can handle them, or can't. I have no idea. But the teams you want, guys, so you need a team to be able to beat, like General Skywalker. Like, you can beat Jedi Master Kenobi with it as long as they don't have Cat. You can beat Rey with this team pretty consistently, and with Supreme Leader Kylo, you can. Well, you know what? They can actually do okay against Kylo as well. But Supreme Leader Kylo, you use this Jedi Revan, Jedi Luke team, and you're able to take them out. In my opinion, if you have these 2 teams up and running, as well as a pretty nice Darth Revan, you can see Relic 0 on these guys, but Relic 0 and 351 speed, so very quick Darth Revan, regardless, one of the faster ones at this Relic 0, I have to assume, but those are good characters to have. Like, these are the core teams. You want bounty hunters, you want all these other things, and I can show you guys that in a minute, but the baseline, guys, is you want those 2 teams to be able to counter things, to be able to counter all the really tough stuff, and then if you can, so Darth Revan, that's not hard. That is not difficult. And then Ki-Adi-Mundi, and I did just recently unlock Cat. Obviously I can't get her up to gear 13 yet. She's getting there, so stay tuned for my alt, guys. This week is going to be very interesting, facing Supreme Leader Kylo's left and right in my group, and I want to see how my Commander Ahsoka Tano does on defense alongside Padme. No idea how that's going to work, but that's in the cards. And I have Ki-Adi-Mundi at Relic 1. Woo! Because I'm trying to keep my Relic levels low. And, we're gaming the system so that we're playing other guys with low matchup GPs so that we don't get a lot of Galactic Legends. Now, one thing I did just want to point out, guys, and for farming for this type of thing, it is super important, guys, to be able to get all of these other, so like they're labeled solo journeys. My big fat head is blocking it right now, but it says solo journeys here. Unlocking all of these characters as quickly as you can before jumping into a Galactic Legend is pretty important, in my opinion. Well, if you want to just do GAC, like I did. Granted, if you have to participate in arena and stuff, you need a Galactic Legend. You need to be able to climb, and I get that. So do that if you need to, obviously. I don't want to tell you how to play, but my strategy, if you're just going for GAC dominance, which is what I've been doing, I'm okay with slower progression. If I can just beat a lot of people in GAC, which I have, then unlocking all of these characters is really important, guys. Not just because the characters are important themselves. I mean, they are, but they're also very cheap to unlock. Like, Bando needs a specific set of characters in order to unlock. But I guess we can... They won't show us all at one spot. But guys, the thing is, you get Bando, and this team isn't like... I still haven't geared them up a ton, but you only need 5 characters for that. And they're all useful. Like, almost every single one of them. Same with, like, Thrawn, you have to use Phoenix, but that's fine, because you needed to get the ship anyways. And some of the Phoenix are useful, regardless. Like, Sabine, I'm still using in the endgame. R2-D2, you just need Empire, like, all these different things. Chewie, you need Bounty Hunters, you still need Bounty Hunters. The Revans, you don't really need the Old Republic guys, but they'd only cost a small fraction of what a Galactic Legend costs, and even though they're not a Galactic Legend themselves, the footprint that their unlock leaves is so tiny compared to the Galactic Legends. And so that's why you want to get all these unlocked, guys. Honestly, like, that's a pretty key portion of all of this. So we can go through the roster just a little bit, guys. I know that there are all these different favorited guys is kind of throwing us off, but yeah, so we've got the General Skywalker team. We've got Jedi Knight Luke, who, he's tough to unlock, but once you do, he does a lot of good things for your account. I have Vader, I have Commander Luke, I have the Padme team. Everyone is pretty low relics, as you can see. The relic 3s, a lot of them, like Daka needs to be probably 5 eventually. That'll happen soonish. Now that I have a bunch of relic levels, I can throw a couple on her, but otherwise, relic 1, relic 0. Relic 0 is basically the order of the day, unless there's a reason it should be higher. Captain Han Solo is 3 because I needed him 3 to get Jedi Luke, etc. Not because he's any good at relics, he's just as worthless one place as the other. He could be relic 20, still kind of a worthless fool. But that being said, folks, I mean, Ewoks are something that I focused on a little bit. I mean, gear 11 on everyone, but if you want to look at the team who gets the most holds for how much investment I put in, it's definitely Ewoks. No question in my mind. Ewoks are crazy in terms of how many holds they can get. So yeah, I mean, the idea here, guys, is to farm everything first. Don't farm gear, just farm characters. Farm characters, unlock characters, and then slowly build your roster up over time. And you can't have everything. We're at 5.6 million GP. You can't have everything. And now I have a Galactic Legend. Soon enough, I'm going to be facing people with 2 Galactic Legends. And I'm going to need to be able to use my off-meta counters to beat one of those, probably. And, while I work on the next one. From now to the end, I'm probably just going to be sprinting from one GL to the next. And that's the tricky part about all of this, guys, is trying to keep up with everyone. Like, this the Galactic Legend grind is going to be non-stop moving forward. We're just going to be marching forward on that. Executor is probably next, but if I do that, I'll have a bunch of like Relic 8s that... I don't want Relic 8s. I'm not interested in, like adding all of that matchup GP, but we're going to have to do it. Beskar is going to have to get some levels, etc. We're going to need a lot of stuff for ships, and I don't know. And then we're going to start getting matched up with 2 GLs. It's going to be a mess, so stay tuned. This account is going to have some interesting times, even though we're not doing big game hunting anymore, which is more the pity. But, okay, let's look at ships real quick, guys. We have all these things on the top. Favorited. Looks like I don't have a 7-star Razor Crest. For some reason, I thought I did. I need to farm that. But, otherwise, gosh, I really did. Otherwise, I've been working on the Finalizer and Radis forever, guys. Getting those ships unlocked and those pilots to an okay enough level to actually complete the mission is really important, because you want more than just the unlock on Finalizer. It's actually a useful ship. Same with Radis. Both of them are useful. They're not the transcendent things that we kind of like I would like them to be, but you want to farm them. And then, I mean, all your GET1 and GET2 needs to be sunk into stun guns and mark for comlinks, and then nothing else until you get Malevolence and Negotiator farmed, and have enough for General Skywalker to get 7 stars, Malik to 7 stars, and be able to farm up, Wampa and Rolo. I believe those are the 2 that we need. Yeah, for other unlocks. Like, so GT2 and 1, guys, only uses are buy all the stun guns you see, every single one of them from the very start. Even if you have like 500, just keep buying them, because you'll eventually use all of them and need more. And then also the comlinks, you need to be farming those. Mark 4 comlinks you run out of. So once you get to 400, you can stop. You spend those a little less often. But otherwise, you can see Negotiator, Malevolence, we've got everything farmed or on the farm. Executor's next to try to start farming it. And, I mean, that's essentially it, folks. I don't want this video to be super long. We have troopers. The other big thing about this is trying to maximize our potential. So I have a Relic 2 Dark Trooper, and then Piet is the next highest gear at gear 11, alongside Veers at 11. You get that Zeta on Veers, couple on Piet, and you're off to the races. I use Range Trooper at at gear 9 all the time. Was I saying Relic 9 on Piet and Veers? That was weird. In Stark, you could use Death Trooper at gear 8, and the only thing that matters is having a Dark Trooper that punches things. I don't think that this team has gotten less than a 60 at any point, because you just have to choose the right teams. You have to use the right levers, but this is such a cheap investment team. I mean, talk about low investment. I mean, you need a couple Zetas for sure, but otherwise, this team is bare bones, and I'm still getting 60s against decent teams. As long as you're fast enough, you're good to go. Similarly, you have Night Sisters here, like gear 10 on Zombie and stop. No need to go further. You can get Telzin up to gear 11 and stop, because she dies and she actually helps Asajj and Daka ramp up. You need some Zetas on these guys as well. You can do without the Asajj lead, etc. And, we could keep going. But I think the only other one that I really want to point out is now my Jedi Training Rey and R2-D2 are super high relics because of the unlock I just did. But previously, Jedi Training Rey was at gear 9. R2 was relic 0 or something like that. And then they'd go alongside this gear 9 BB-8 Resistance Hero Finn and Resistance Hero Poe at gear 9. And you can beat gear 12 teams with them, because if you know the mechanics of how the team works and the control, you don't ever get hit. So maximizing your roster like that is also a really important part of having success at GAC. So that being said, folks, let me know what you think. Obviously, this is GAC only. If you need to get Arena, or your guild is making you do things that you don't necessarily prefer, then that's your call. Like, you have to figure out what you want to do first. But I just wanted to provide a snapshot of my account that, I've dominated in a lot of different ways. It's definitely using a loophole that maybe some would consider not as awesome. I don't know. It's loophole. I'm just gaming the system. The system exists to be gamed, I guess, and it's worked. And now we're on a new era. Probably do a new thumbnail and everything soon. So stay tuned, folks. Come hang out with me live and everything this week. It's going to be epic. So finally, thank you all so much for watching. And remember that in all things, Xaereth prevails. Please hit that like and comment and all that stuff too, folks. Please. Goodbye.